Fear isn't the reason you're stuck. It's the excuse. Because deep down, you already know what you're supposed to do. That conversation you keep avoiding. That step you keep delaying. That responsibility you keep pushing away. It's not confusion. It's fear. And the dangerous part? You've learned how to live with it. Comfortably, quietly, convincingly. But here's the truth most people don't want to face. The people you admire. The ones who changed history. The ones who stood when everyone else stayed silent. They were afraid too. The difference is, they didn't let fear decide. And no story proves that more powerfully than Musa, A.S. Because Musa, A.S., wasn't born fearless. He was raised in the house of the very man he was destined to confront. Pharaoh, power, authority, oppression. And Musa grew up in the shadow of it. He saw it, he understood it, he felt its weight, and one moment changed everything. A conflict, a reaction, a single strike. And suddenly, a man was dead. Not planned, not intentional, but real. And just like that, Musa, A.S., became a fugitive. Running, looking over his shoulder, leaving everything behind. Pause. This wasn't a prophet standing on a mountain yet. This was a man overwhelmed by the consequences of one moment. And if you're honest, you know what that feels like? One mistake, one decision, and suddenly your life feels like it's shifting. You feel exposed, uncertain, afraid of what comes next. Musa, A.S., ran, not because he was weak, but because he was human. Fear is not the problem. Let that sink in. Fear is not the problem, because even prophets felt it. Even those chosen by Allah experienced it. The problem is what fear turns you into. Does it paralyze you, or does it prepare you? Musa, A.S., escaped to Madian. No status, no power, no clarity about his future, just survival. Years passed, quiet years, working, living, building a life away from everything he once knew. And this is where most people misunderstand the process. They think purpose comes instantly. They think clarity comes early. But sometimes Allah lets you sit in uncertainty before He reveals your mission. Because rushing clarity without building strength breaks people. Then one night, everything changed. A fire, a call, a moment that would redefine everything. Musa, direct, personal, undeniable. Allah spoke to him, not in a dream, not through someone else, directly. And what was the command? Go back, go to Pharaoh, the very place he ran from, the very man he feared, the very environment that could destroy him. Go back, think about that. Allah didn't send him somewhere comfortable, He sent him directly into his fear. And this is where it becomes real for you. Because the thing you keep avoiding might be the exact place your purpose is waiting. That uncomfortable step. That difficult conversation. That responsibility you keep delaying. What if that's your Pharaoh? What if running from it is running from who you're meant to become? But here's what makes this story different. Musa, A.S., didn't pretend to be fearless. He didn't say, I'm ready. He didn't say, I can handle it. He said the opposite. My Lord, I fear. He admitted it. Clearly. Honestly. No hiding. No pretending. And that's powerful. Because most people think strength means silence. They think being strong means not feeling fear. But real strength is being honest about it and still moving forward. Musa, A.S., didn't just express fear. He asked for support. Expand my chest. Ease my task. Untie the knot from my tongue. Send Harun with me. Look at that. He didn't rely only on courage. He built support. He prepared. He asked Allah for strength. Because courage is not the absence of fear. It's movement despite it. And Allah responded. Not by removing the mission, but by strengthening Musa. That's the pattern. Allah doesn't always remove what scares you. He strengthens you to face it. But only if you step forward. Musa, A.S., returned. Not as a fugitive, but as a messenger. Standing in front of the most powerful tyrant of his time. Pharaoh, a man who claimed divinity. A man who controlled life and death. A man who crushed opposition without hesitation. And Musa stood there, speaking truth, clear, direct, unshaken. But don't miss this. The fear didn't disappear. It was still there, but it no longer controlled him. And that's the shift you need to understand. Fear doesn't need to vanish for you to move. You just need to stop letting it lead, because right now, fear is making your decisions. Fear is choosing your comfort. Fear is shaping your future. You avoid opportunities because of fear. You stay silent because of fear. You delay growth because of fear. And slowly, you build a life that feels safe, but keeps you stuck. Musa, A.S., could have stayed in Madian. Comfortable, unknown, safe. But safe wasn't his purpose. And it's not yours either, because nothing meaningful happens in comfort. Nothing transformative happens in avoidance. Everything that changes you requires you to face something you're afraid of. And when Musa, A.S., stood at the sea, trapped, fur on behind him, the ocean in front of him, no visible escape, even his people panicked. We are going to be overtaken. That moment, that pressure, that fear, it came back, stronger than ever. And what did Musa say? No, my Lord is with me. Not confidence in himself, confidence in Allah. That's the difference. Because when your trust is only in yourself, fear wins. But when your trust is in Allah, fear loses its power. The sea split. A path opened. Not before the fear, but through it. Let that sit. The miracle didn't come before the fear. It came after he stepped forward. And that's how it works. You don't get clarity first. You don't get confidence first. You move, and then Allah opens the way. But most people never see that opening because they never take the first step. They wait to feel ready. They wait for fear to disappear. They wait for perfect conditions, and they stay stuck. So ask yourself, what are you avoiding right now? What conversation are you not having? What decision are you delaying? What step are you afraid to take? Because that fear, that exact fear, might be pointing directly to your next level, not away from danger, but toward growth, toward purpose, toward who you're meant to become. Musa, A.S., didn't become great because he was fearless. He became great because he didn't let fear stop him. And that's the difference between people who change their lives and those who stay the same. So stop waiting. Stop negotiating with your fear. Stop letting it decide your direction. Because one day, you'll look back and realize it was never about your ability. It was about your willingness to move despite fear. And by then, the opportunity might be gone. If this made you uncomfortable, good. That means you're facing something real. And if this changed your perspective, subscribe. Because the next video might change your life.